All right, Leadheads, I want to give you a quick little show note. The audio at the beginning of this is a little sketchy, but we cleared it up later on, I think after the first 12 minutes or so. But this is a long interview, but it's a good interview with the guys at Strike Industries, so hang in there. I apologize for missing last week's show post, but we ran into some technical difficulties with Google Hangouts. The interview that we had with Jason Redman, which I've been looking forward to for a long time. We had a great interview with him. It was over an hour and a half, and the audio just disappeared from the Google Hangouts. So I've been working all last week trying to get that recovered, but they just couldn't do it. It's a shame, but it was a great interview. But fortunately, Jason has agreed to redo the interview with us, so we're going to have him back on in an upcoming episode. If you guys are into racing, Jason won the honor to name the Brickyard 400 this year, the Crown Royal Presents, and he named it after his charitable organization, the Combat Wounded Coalition. So it was the Crown Royal Presents Combat Wounded Coalition 400 at the Brickyard. He was the Grand Marshal. He got to address the crowd. He was there for, I think, before the Kid Rock concert, but he gave a great opening speech there, and there's things posted on Facebook, so you guys make sure you check those out. But Jason Redman, he's the Navy SEAL who was wounded in combat, wrote the book The Trident, and he started Wounded Wear, and now he's got the Combat Wounded Coalition as well. So look forward to that interview again with Jason. And apologize to you guys, but sometimes things happen beyond our control. But we more than made up for it this week, so enjoy the show, Leadheads, and don't forget to enter the giveaway. Go to Talking Lead's website under the giveaway tab, and we talk about that in this episode too. If you've not heard about it yet, you got till the end of the month, so hurry up, go to our website, get entered to win all those awesome prizes. Strike Industry, we've got Chris and Garret, Strike Industries, and to help me with this interview, we've got a couple of Leadheads here. We got AK, and we got Josh. Hey, what's going on, guys? So, Garret and Chris, I know Garrett's got a short time with us. Let's introduce yourselves over there.
Yep, so my name's Garret Keller, CEO of Strike Industries. We started back in 2011. Been going strong ever since. My background is prior Navy, helicopter combat search and rescue, AW. We got Chris, our product specialist here. Prior Marine, I have nothing wrong with that. But he
gave him a ride, didn't you?
Now, once a Marine, always Marine. He's still a Marine.
Very cool. So Strike Industries, like you said, you guys started up about 2011, and everybody's very familiar with Strike Industries. I know everybody in this room is. I know a lot of the Leadheads are. I currently use several of your products, and we're excited to hear about what all you guys got coming up down the pike as well. So if you would, just Garret, give us a little bit of history behind your company, how you guys got started.
A little bit of history. All great things have small beginnings. And we started off small, just like we should have. And we still think that we're, still in the beginning stages of our true potential. We started off, believe it or not, in the 1911 realm, starting off with our torque screws and grits.
Really?
Yeah. So we've come a long way. We're coming up to our true goal, and that's AR components, everything from muzzle to buttstock, and everything in between, and then some. So we are just constantly and never ending creating new products, bringing something new to every part that we produce. So it's just not the same boring routine part. Not just replacement parts, it's something new. Yeah, so our lines started off, traditional buck rifles. We wanted to spice it up. People showed so much interest in our first introduction of the red line. We started off with the red line charging handle. That thing took off beyond our expectations. So we decided to expand it to other parts. And what it turned out being was part of what we would call like our performance series line. These things are all of our aluminum parts, so we can anodize them, give them that more quality look, that feel. What we were able to do is, one thing that people should know is that when you color anodize, it's not a true Type 3 hard coat anodize. It's going to be a Type 2 anodize. It's a bit, easier to scratch and less robust, I would say. But it does bring that unique characteristic to your rifle, or firearm, whatever it may be. So we've expanded it to the Glock parts as well, with our Glock's back plates or side plates, and we'll keep going forward with new parts.
Cool.
So this is just a brand new version of our Megafin XL that we have back from Anodize, and we just got the final colorway figured out. Another note about anodizing, particularly color Type 2 anodizing, it's never 100% reliable, right? So from batch to batch, every batch is going to be a little bit of variation.
Mm-hmm.
We thought about going can I say other manufacturer's name over the air? Or,
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right, so for instance, Geisley, everybody knows Geisley. They're a heavy hitter in this industry. They make some fantastic rail systems, real heavy duty, military, combat ready systems. When they anodize in flat dark earth, they call it their desert, desert camouflage or desert dirt pattern, whatever. They will tell you right off the bat that you can't be consistent with it. And I may have the nomenclature wrong there, but every batch, every Geisley component, if you get it in that colorway, it will look different. We've gone to some pretty extraordinary lengths with our anodizing to make sure that we can get it closer than our competitors can. We've done a lot to make sure that we can bring the margin of error way down in our components. So our red line, for instance, in Strike Industries Red, for those of you that can't see this, they're going to be much more consistent than most of our competitors, and we take a lot of pride in that. That doesn't mean there's going to be no variation, but it is something of note. Mm-hmm. Now, what I have in my hand is the Megafin XL 15-inch in our redline colorway with the built-in flip-up front sight.
And explain what that is to the listeners.
This was one of the industry's first suppressor-ready handguards, meaning it was designed from the get-go to fit and work with a majority of the 223 caliber or 224 caliber suppressors on the market. So this guy has a 1.52 inch nominal interior diameter, and that will fit a majority of the 223 suppressors out there. Okay. Not only that, but the fins on the inside. I don't know where the camera is. So I don't know where to point it, but somewhere.
Yeah, you had it. Yeah.
Okay. So there are fins inside, hence the name Megafin XL. And those are designed for enhanced cooling of the barrel nut, because we figured people who are running suppressors are going to run a hotter gun in general. Right. So this thing came out 3 years ago.
Oh, it was 2 years ago.
A little over 2 years ago. One of the first purpose-built suppressor-ready lines anywhere out there. And we're just now getting around to bringing all of our colorways to the Megafin XL family.
Chris, so that our listeners can go ahead and look at this while they're listening to all this. What is your website so that they can check that out?
StrikeIndustries.com.
Excellent. And you said that was the Megafin?
Megafin XL.
Excellent.
I'm really digging the built-in sights on those, man.
Yeah.
They're very minimal. What kind of tolerances do you have on those
As far as machining tolerances?
well, not machining, but I mean, they look like they would be a little dainty and frail.
On the contrary.
Yeah, right, and that's what I wanted to get to, yeah.
It's a pretty heavy-duty system, and heavy being the key word there. This guy in the 15-inch is going to be right around 16 ounces. So it's a heavy-duty system, barrel nut and mounting hardware included.
Well, I'm talking about the sights that flip up.
Oh, my apologies, I misunderstood.
So the sights on our Megafin rails, you know, if you were to compare these to any other flip-up integrated rails out there, I would have to say that these are. I wish the followers could see.
They're going to go to your website. They're going to see them.
Yeah,
we need to do some.
this is a backup to your backup, right? So this is for those of you lazy bastards who want to bring down the ounces on your weapons because you believe a tenth of an ounce is somehow going to add up to a pound somewhere. Those that believe that they are going to be rucking or humping their rifle 25 clicks in an afternoon.
Yeah,
this is for that crowd. It folds down flat, so you can still use that Picatinny real estate or rail estate.
Rail estate. Yeah.
Right? But it is an option. It is an option for you. And as far as robustness, durability, they were not designed to be dropped directly on the site. They will fold down. It is a last-ditch option. It is for somebody who wants, a 50-meter and in iron sight that's lightweight and out of the way.
So,
Okay.
All right, guys. So we had some technical difficulties there, not uncommon to Talking Lead, and we found a better way to connect with Chris. So we are connected with Chris now. I think we lost Garret, unfortunately, but maybe he might join us again. Maybe he could call in as well. But Chris, you were talking about your new handrails that you guys have.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
And you were getting into the tolerances, the weight, the strength, and all that. I was concerned, not really concerned, but I really like the flip-up sights that you guys have on those. I think it's ingenious. I mean, you're using like you said, rail estate to its maximum. So you're actually putting something that's useful on there. But the way you described it was those are actually intended to be the backups to your backups, right?
Yeah, if you're using your weapon system for serious duty use, up to and including law enforcement, military, maybe even some of the more intense 3-gun competitions like Ironman out there, 3-gun nation type stuff, you're going to want to be running a more robust, purpose-driven type of backup iron sight system or primary iron sight system. But for those who want to pump a bunch of money into a big, heavy optic and want to save weight everywhere else, or those that just want the most minimalistic of builds, that's what our iron sight system is for. And the reason I said 0 to 50 irons previously has nothing to do with the kind of minute nature or minuscule nature of the sights themselves.
Right.
Rather, it's how you adjust the zero. It's kind of a pain in the ass because you've got to take a small jeweler's screwdriver, like a small flathead, and unlock that little bastard, move it to whatever position you need it to be in for your given distance, and lock it back down. It's not the most convenient for zeroing, especially doing a battle site zero, where you've got to potentially be readjusting that.
Right.
So because of the inconvenience factor, it's best just to set it at whatever your engagement distance, preferred engagement distance is going to be,
right.
Particularly if you're going to be using a magnified optic.
Okay.
But it is there, and it does have the capability to be zeroed at any distance. That's just whether or not you want it to do it that way.
Right.
And if you're not willing to go to the lengths to fine tune that zeroing, then it really is only going to be useful inside, 50, maybe 75 yards.
Right.
Okay.
Very good. So another question that I had, I don't think you heard me, was you guys are currently rocking the red and the blue color schemes, and you got a gray one also. Do you have plans for any more color schemes coming down the pike?
Right now, as for the next 3 quarters, 4 quarters or so, not really. We're going to be focused on bringing the red, blue, and gray to all of our anodized products.
Gotcha.
And that's a work in and of itself, because we like to outsource work as little as possible. And that means that we're a little bit more limited when it comes to using our own production resources.
Gotcha.
Part of the problem, fast forwarding to the area, the part of the conversation where we talk about myths in the gun industry, and particularly pertaining to ourselves.
No, don't go there yet. Don't go to facts to fight the myth. It's not time for that. We ain't done the jackwagon yet.
all right. As I was in, I'll hold off on that little factoid.
Okay, coming up. Yeah.
All righty.
So the way it stands right now, you don't have necessarily the blue, like the red color scheme. You've got the buttstock tube, the buffer tube. You've got the switches. You've got the charging handle. You've got the handguard rail, all in red, right? All available in red.
We've got everything is in red so far, red and black, and
that's just
we are working to bring blue and gray to all of those components. We've got a few here and there that are blue or gray.
I'm loving the blue, by the way. I love the blue color scheme, and the next one I build, I want to use that blue color scheme in with it.
Fantastic.
It's very cool.
The one they had on display at NRA was definitely hot. I mean, that thing was the blue rifle that they had on display at NRA. Yeah, that one was really, really nice.
I missed that one. Now, as far as the Glocks go, what kind of components are you guys doing for the Glocks?
We already have the slide plates out, all right, and we're working on the baby versions for the 42 and 43, as well as for the M&P family.
Oh, wow.
But we are working on an entirely new adjustable sight system for the Glock family. Rather, I should say modular sight system for the Glock family, where the front sight post is going to be interchangeable with a bunch of included options, and it's going to give you a ton more decisions to make, if you will.
More choices.
Regarding how you point your weapon down range.
Oh, wow.
And as is our, kind of our style, we like to give you way more options than you really think you need, just because why not?
Yeah.
And so we're working on sights. We're working on a flat face trigger, both as a trigger shoe replacement and as a complete trigger pack. And my pride and joy, I'm personally working on our first ever line of Glock slides.
Really?
And those will be the first ever integrated compensated slides for competition Glocks, and they will also be 50 state legal.
Yeah, go ahead and sign me up.
Yeah.
Sold.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's gonna be great. What do you have you got a target deadline for those?
Not yet. I was actually working on the SolidWorks for one of the slides just before this conversation. Only been working on it for a few weeks now, so we're a long time out with that. We should have, or are planning to have, some sort of prototype for SHOT Show.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't plan to have anything, out on the market until probably end of spring, maybe sometime early summer next year.
Next year. Okay.
Yeah.
Save your pennies.
That's one of those long, way off projects, and we want to make it. It's got to be worth the wait.
Yeah.
We're just as excited as anybody, if not more so, and we want to do it right the first time out the gate. So
yeah,
there are a lot of bugs to work out, a lot of really crazy measurements to do. I don't know if y'all have ever tried measuring the inside of a Glock slide, but it is
not had the need.
It's something else. Yeah, that's an exercise for your kid if they're out of misbehaving. Make them measure the inside of a Glock slide for 5 hours.
Yeah, we'd leave that up to the professionals. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Strike Industries, you guys are into a whole lot of different, not just the ARs and the Glocks, but you're in the 1911s, you're into the AKs, you're into the HKs. Are you guys planning
that brings
on...
it to, we also have a new 417 rail in the works.
Okay.
For those of your, the 5 or so listeners you have that have 417s.
Well, that's our whole listenership right there. So you hit all 5 of them. Yeah, you hit all 5 of them right there.
Well, you got a very wealthy listenership then.
Yes. Yes.
That's
and half of them are in this room right here. So.
Yeah.
very privileged.
Yeah, we all own Barrett Rec 7s too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have more HK stuff coming. Obviously, with HK in particular, there are a lot of patent issues to work around.
Right.
Which is kind of an issue when you only have a dozen or so people in your company.
Little delicate, right?
Yeah, we're working towards it. We're doing best not to get sued over our own designs. The kind of
don't want to get a cease and desist letter.
Small business drama that you run into here in this country.
Right. So, for our listeners, where are you guys based out of?
Orange County, California. Unfortunately.
Ooh, California. You guys fighting a good fight for us out there. We appreciate.
Yeah,
that.
we're in the heart of the. We're definitely deep behind enemy lines.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
So how's the new gunpocalypse thing affecting you guys with all the new rulings coming up?
Oh, we contemplated company mass suicide, but we figured it probably best to at least for those brave Californians who decided to stay in the state. And still love their gun rights. We've decided to stay here for their benefits.
Right on, man. Right on.
Time being,
we gotta have people that stay there, stay strong, and fight the fight, man.
Stay as long as
everybody can't abandon it. Or it's just it's gonna be a complete waste. So.
Well, stay as long as you can, and when you can't anymore, head out this way.
We'll keep your seat warm.
Well, you can always expand out here. You don't have to leave California. You can just expand out here and grow your support.
I was offered an unbelievable amount of couch space at the NRA show. I could not believe how many people were like, "Hey, man, you can move into my living room. Yeah. I got room for you."
No doubt.
My 12 kids, they won't mind. They can move over.
If you don't mind a Great Dane, we got a couch for you here too.
Yeah. Yep.
I'll kick the possum out of the trailer for you.
Very cool, very cool. So, speaking of California, I think I hear the Jackwagon Train rolling in. Gunny, bring that train in, buddy.
Hoorah, Semper Fi, do or die, hold 'em high at 8th and 9. It is time for the Talking Lead Jackwagon of the Week, so brace yourself, baby.
So
right now, I got my sights set on Hillary, on the big H dog.
The big H dog, huh?
The big H dog, yeah.
So, what is there anything in particular that she's done this time that you want to solidify her seat on the Jackwagon Train?
Just generally her shenanigans and those of her husband and the Clinton Foundation and all of the rules that they just love to bend and get around and break and.
Well, I think the hammer's getting ready to. I think the hammer's getting ready to come down on them. I hope.
Yeah.
We were talking about this last night. Our good buddies from Frontier Tactical were in last night. They were on their way to Montana, and they stopped in to visit with us. And we were having a conversation about this, Nate and Kim. We were kind of analyzing the FBI Comey's statement that he made. When he got in front of the nation, and he was just basically just spilling out every reason why she should be freaking indicted, but he wasn't going to bring charges.
Yeah.
So, we were kind of like, give him maybe the benefit of the doubt. Like, he's like, hey, my hands are tied, but here's all your ammo that you need to go after this witch.
Mm-hmm. One can look at it that way. What you got to realize is the FBI has one politically appointed position, but the Department of Justice has probably over 200.
Right.
And so they really are the ones putting on the pressure, the political pressure. And when it comes to the political arena, Hillary and her family have probably some of the biggest footprints in the world right now. And
no doubt.
in the judicial side, on the judicial side, as far as the FBI is concerned, they're really still an extension of the executive branch, right?
Yeah.
And the executive branch is what? A political branch.
Mm-hmm.
So political pressure, they are more susceptible to political pressure, and the
checks and balances, baby.
It's hard to do that when you have an administration come in and change out the leadership of every federal agency and organization.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to point fingers at the Obama administration for things that H-Dog has done, but they've definitely made it easier for her to get away with things. And obviously her husband kind of set the tone for that with his presidency, and it's a whole political nightmare and mess.
Yeah. Well, they've got a lot of things that if they start investigating that they're going to have to answer for, you know, with their fake.
Well, see, that's the thing, is Hillary's one of the best escape artists in history, and she really has been quite clever in how she's dealt with people in the past, because I'm sure she's got dirt on a lot of people,
no doubt,
in very high places, you know,
No
and
doubt.
because she has dirt on them, they're not going to want to expose her dirt. They're going to want to turn a blind eye, and I think that's what we're seeing.
Yeah. Well, hopefully not. You know, hopefully like you said, the judicial system will kick in and they'll hold her feet to the fire. But don't hold your breath.
Yeah.
I'm not holding my breath. I'm curious to see how the American public is going to respond to whatever comes down the line.
Well, that's what it ultimately
you know?
comes down to, is the American public and how loud they get.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how much dirt she's got on people.
At some point, it is our duty to make our voices heard. But you know, this isn't the 1700s. You know, times have changed, people's minds have changed, people's willpower has changed, and you know, what we consider a man now, I think, may not have been
Completely
considered so.
Definition.
Well, just
Our
remember,
founding Fathers Day.
like the old saying, the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing.
Yep.
Edmund Burke had said that, and you know, that's very, very poignant right now, and especially in today's political environment with everything, because you know, you got a lot of people that sit there and say, "Oh, I'm not voting," or "I don't like the candidates." Well, it comes down to this is the candidates that you have. I mean, just because your guy didn't get in the primaries doesn't mean that you necessarily just sit out and say, "I'm not going to play ball anymore." Yeah. You have a right that majority of people in the world do not have. So, you know, when people sit there and say, "Oh, I'm not going to vote," yes, that's your right to do so, but understand the amount of people that died to give you that right to begin with.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one of the ironic parts about our voting system is that if you look at some of the more liberalized countries like Australia, they are forced to vote. It's 100% voting rate.
Yep.
And then you come here and you've got a country and a way of life that was established by people who were so enamored by the ability to vote, by the right to vote, to make a decision regarding the future of, you know, one's own country, that they were willing to die for it. They were willing to kill for it. They were willing for their sons to die for it.
Yeah.
And you know, it's kind of sad to see that a nation with such great stock and upbringing has kind of devolved into this puddle of soup, if you will.
Yeah.
That you know,
it's divisive. You know, our country is more and more becoming divided, and I think that's going to get into our next jackwagon, which Alex and Josh have. Well, guys, who do you have for the jackwagon train?
Well, the first one I have is Twitter.
Twitter.
Yeah.
I don't think we've had Twitter on here yet, so it'll be a first for Twitter.
Yeah, they're really sucking hind tits.
Of course, Instagram and Facebook have made it.
Yeah.
Well, Twitter, his
Tweeter.
the old tweeter. Tweeter is banned.
Milo, the Breitbart editor.
Right, I can't pronounce his last name. It's very foreign.
Oh, that was that gay for Trump.
Yes.
Fellow.
Yes, the self-proclaimed dangerous faggot. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way the guy states it, guys.
Yes.
So don't get mad.
No, I mean he is on.
Everybody knows that we're not homophobic here on the show.
No,
You know?
that's his world tour. And he's been shouted down and
banned from speaking at multiple colleges
that are supposed to be so inclusive and
open-minded. And
So,
First Amendment supportive, and
Right.
Well, yeah.
And it really has nothing to do with the fact that he's gay.
No,
I
it
mean,
just has to do with
look
his
at Trek
message.
Industries. Our CEO was in the Navy.
Mm-hmm.
Right on.
We have nothing against gays.
Garrett, he can't defend himself.
If he were in the
That's
room,
what he
might
gets
have given
for
me a
leaving
disapproving
early.
look.
Yeah. So you have a social media outlet that in reality should be an outlet for one to express their First Amendment, to use their First Amendment right. Well, now what it's turned into is basically
That's what Twitter is. It's all about speech. It's all about people communicating, back and forth to one another.
right.
Right.
And
Well, you do have to realize one thing, and I hate to play the devil's advocate on this, but Twitter is a privately established
No, we
business,
understand
right?
that. We understand
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But at the same time,
So-
it was set up for people to express themselves and to say, speak their mind.
so
Well, unfortunately, much like anything that comes out of the left and anyone that comes out of anyone who leans to the left, generally there are some skewed rules, and you've got to understand those rules. And right now what we're seeing is the it's only fair if I do it rule, which
Right.
is, one of the big heavy hitters in the Democrats' playbook.
So anybody who's
alongside,
got any kind of influence, if they're not speaking what Twitter wants them to speak, they're going to shut them
Yeah.
down.
And
Same
when,
thing with
yeah.
Instagram.
and
same
we've
thing
seen
with
this from
Facebook.
Facebook as well.
Right.
We've seen it from all the big social media outlets at different times. It just so happens that all of them are owned by incredibly liberal individuals.
Right. And but when these organizations allow things like to promote the cop hate thing that's been going on, and they've got horrible, disgusting pictures of people murdering police officers and drawings and things like that, and they're defending it, saying, well, that's just art. And they're using that as the excuse of, well, that's just art.
Yeah.
Okay, but this man goes off and says something about a comedian that they didn't like, but is also happening to be speaking at the RNC convention for the group Gays for Trump, and suddenly he's completely banned from Twitter altogether.
Of course, yeah.
No.
It's a problem. And I hate to keep bringing it up, but it really is a problem endemic to liberalism, because you have to look at the base human instincts and thought process behind what creates liberalism. It's all about me, not you. Right? Liberalism is me having control, but not you, because I know better for you. I know better for me, and I know better for you and everyone else.
Right.
It's kind of an arrogant view, worldview,
It is.
in that people really are not equal. Liberalism is all about the belief in oneself as being something special and something other than what everyone else is. On the surface, they're all about talking about equality, but it's never equal. It's never equal. Nobody ever gets equal airtime with those people.
No.
That's right.
And it's one of the reasons I appreciate shows like yours, because it's given the little guy or the guy on the right or the guy in the middle or wherever a voice, and it's given.
And that's the thing, is with supporters of the Second Amendment, the First Amendment, whatever it is, you can't discriminate against people that are on your same side, So the Second Amendment community is one of
we don't want to be discriminating against anybody.
No,
But that is the kind of the modus operandi of the left, is to discriminate against certain groups who they have demonized, and then
but they
everybody else
demonize
will
the
look
Second
at that
Amendment
group.
But the Second Amendment group is one of the largest socially acceptable,
It's one of the
diverse groups that exist, because there are
Definitely.
gays, there's liberals, there's conservatives, there's
Men, women, black, white,
men,
Asian,
all race,
wherever,
color that enjoy their Second Amendment rights.
Yeah.
So they don't point that out. They don't want people like this. What's his name? Colo or Solo?
Milo.
Milo.
yeah.
Milo. Like you said, I mean, they're very selfish, and if you're not on point with them, then you're not with them, and they're going to cut you out.
And again, to control,
they're not going to give you a say.
To control the thought, you have to control the message, and that's what it breaks down to right there. And if you're able to silence any opposition, then you only have one thought process that's being brought out there. And that's what people gravitate to because they don't want to be singled out.
Right. Well, very good. So Twitter has made our Jackwagon Train. I believe that's the first time Twitter has made it. So
well, they've been sucking for
good
a while.
one, Josh. Yeah. So, Alex, you've got another
I've got
group of people that you want to throw on.
Yeah. Well, we're going to do what I'm going after is those individuals that have been promoting and the bad apples of these the Black Lives Matter group and those that have been supporting the attacking cops, those that have actually been attacking cops and murdering them this week. I'm definitely going to throw them on the jackwagon because the situation that I don't understand is if you're attacking these officers, then you're giving them full justification to go ahead and come back in full force to defend themselves at that point, because you're hunting them down and attacking these officers. And, you know, just like there's bad apples in these organizations, there's also bad apples in the police. And that very, very minute thing gets blasted out. And then it becomes a full message that people start using and supporting. And in the past, in the past week and a half, we've had 8 officers killed in the past week and a half.
Yeah, and it's really for nothing because all it really is a bunch of knuckleheads that are basically lemmings. They want to follow something. They want to feel like they're doing something. They don't know what they're doing, but it was just that knee-jerk reaction
that they want to support something.
Yeah, we got to do something, anything, and they're like, well, yeah, I'm doing my part, and they're feeling like they are contributing to their community or their
whatever excuse they're going to use.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's the thing. I think that a lot of this isn't even a situation where people are wanting to. They don't necessarily believe what it is that they're fighting on. It's just that they want to fight. They're angry. They're angry about whatever the situation is that they're angry about, and they found a reason or excuse to go out and say, "Well, now I can destroy something."
Right. They're looking for somebody to blame. It's like, "Well, hey, congratulations, welcome to the world. Our lives suck." You know, it's like you want a cookie. I mean, you want to go to Papa John's, get you a free slice of pizza. What do you want? Like, what's your end game? And that's a lot of I can't remember who asked these groups, like, what is your end game? What is your I heard it from I think Emery King.
Yeah. Emery, yeah.
Yeah, it was like, what's your end game? What do you want from this? Like, what are you trying to gain? And nobody knows. Like, they're just there, honestly. I talked to some guys from Atlas Defense who are in Baton Rouge, and they said
they were in Tennessee earlier.
Yes, they were
this week.
But I was talking to them, and they had done a bunch of pro bono work for the police, putting on the sights and sling swivels and all this stuff to get them prepared. But the police had told them that most of these people that the Baton Rouge Police Department had arrested are from out of town.
Yeah,
they're not even from.
They're bussing in a lot of protesters, and the thing is that they're being paid. A lot of these protesters, that's their job. They're getting paid $12 to $15 an hour to go
to stir shit.
To stir it up with the police, and have somebody film it when some type of reaction actually happens.
Who else does that? ISIS does that.
Yeah,
that's right. And then they put it on the internet, and it's just a big BS propaganda bowl of crap.
Yeah, exactly.
So basically, BLM cop haters equals ISIS.
Right.
I mean, I'm good. I'm good with that.
We can make that connection.
All right, and then
we'll make that leeway.
You got the an attorney general on the.
I'm going to let you. You're on a roll, brother. Keep going.
I was going to throw this one to you, man.
Keep going.
All right. Well, if it's going to be for me,
so is this chick from Massachusetts?
The Massachusetts Attorney General today, Miss Maura Healey.
What kind of haircut did she say
Miss Maura, Miss Maura, may I speak to your manager, Healey? All right. She reinterpreted the gun laws today in Massachusetts in regards to the assault weapons ban. in Massachusetts that was similar to the assault weapons ban that ended in 2004.
Did you hear about this, Chris?
The federal.
I did not.
Yeah, you're going to love this one, Chris.
Hold on to your seat, brother.
You know how you guys have Massachusetts compliant weaponry?
Yeah.
That is now all out the door based on the reinterpretation of the law by the Attorney General. From the story on truthaboutguns.com that posted earlier this afternoon, Miss Healy has stated that she has reinterpreted the assault weapons ban law to where she has stated that assault weapons banned and guns such as AR-15s and AK-47 variants, even though they are Massachusetts compliant to reach all the current standards to meet the law, is still a copy of the assault weapon itself. So therefore, she is now instituting a ban and is stating that those shall not be sold any longer, effective immediately. So they have apparently sent out agents to notify all of the gun stores in Massachusetts that they are no longer allowed to sell any type of weapon that resembles a modern sporting weapon.
Oh my God! And they've got a picture here of the big press conference, and they've got the picture of
the diagram
an
of
M4, an AR-15, and they're saying this is what may. And they've got things. There's a magazine, there's a grip, there's the buttstock, there's the charging handle, the upper receiver. They're educating people basically on the parts of a freaking rifle.
But they're stating that because it has
these things,
it is considered to be an assault, a copy of an assault weapon, and therefore falls under the jurisdiction of the ban that they have in Massachusetts based on her new reinterpretation.
Right. So anything that looks like that, even if it's a toy,
right,
would be banned.
Basically, what she said: small tweaks that do nothing to limit the. Say again.
Say again, Chris.
Oh, I was just acting as a sounding board.
Yeah. She basically decided that she could interpret the law to decide that small tweaks that do nothing to limit the deadliness of the weapon were going to be no longer legal, and not only that, but they decided. Where'd it go here? The gun industry does not get to decide what's compliant.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. We do. And basically they're just bowing.
Actually,
they're bowing to
the
pressure.
people do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean.
Well, let's see here. Hold on. I remember my civics class. What part of the government is the Attorney General part of? Is that the judicial?
The judicial.
And who makes the laws? The executive, legislative branch. Just throwing it out there. So, are we blurring lines now? Is it a situation where the Attorney General is now able to reinterpret every law on the books currently? And this is something that legislators need to get in there, and they need to get involved. And
this is a purely political stunt.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. It has nothing to do with the public safety, or they're concerned about the general public.
Well, I mean, it does set kind of a dangerous precedent.
Yeah.
Because so it starts with this, and she says, that we get to ensure the full protection intended. Who them. They get to
listen to her words.
Yeah,
the way
with
she speaks.
this directive, we will ensure we get the full protection intended when lawmakers enacted our assault weapons ban, not the watered-down version of those protections offered by gun manufacturers. All right, so it starts here. Okay, so when do people that are not maybe citizens of this country, when do they get the right to vote? Because they don't want the watered down protections, of the United States citizen put forth by the Constitution of the United States. Now that's an extreme example, but I mean, it could be applied elsewhere, other laws.
Well, don't think for a second that this isn't going to be used as a legal precedence in another state.
Yeah,
and
Illinois,
you're going to see it.
Chicago.
California already did it, and therefore now Massachusetts is going to do it, and then you're going to probably see New York do it, and because New York's already had to. I mean, how many? The AR-15.
But you got to keep in mind, this is not the
redesigned.
majority. People don't want this. The majority of people do not want this. This is the minority. But they are the squeaky wheels. They speak up the loudest, and until we as Second Amendment proponents start speaking up in our masses, will we drown this out?
And it's funny that you mentioned that. This weekend at the Tactical Response
alumni,
yeah. So Billy Birdsell did a class on being the citizen journalist.
Yeah, citizen journalist.
It's
actually available on YouTube to
is.
review. And
it was an excellent class. He brought up a lot of great points. But like you're saying, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Well, at some point, we need to start squeaking. We need some grease.
That's my point.
Yeah.
If because we are the majority, and if we would speak up,
right. And he offered
we would drown these people out.
He offered some very good points and tips, I guess you would say, on how to come across as a gun guy and not just a dick with a gun. You know, because you got to be, if you're going to have a supersonic projectile launching device in your pants, you might want to come off as a good person. And when people think of, like, say, your neighbor that may not be a gun owner, may not necessarily support us yet, they should have your face. They need to not get with with them. When there's a gun owner brought up and he thinks about a gun owner, he should see your face. And
I've got another caveat to this. Wasn't the original assault weapons ban, wasn't that a federal thing?
Yes,
it was.
Okay, and didn't the federal government, take that away?
It expired, I think, 2004.
Yes,
right.
Yes, they did.
So how can a state come in and
basically
take over what the federal government has already said is legal?
Basically what the Supreme Court decided was that the states, it's on the states to decide what they want.
Okay.
For each individual.
It is a states' right issue, not a federal issue.
Gotcha.
Right. But
it was actually unconstitutional for the federal government to enact that ban in the first place, which is why it was allowed to slip.
Okay. Right. And see, the thing
That's why it lapsed.
So it just expired, and then now they've left it up to the states to go in individually and have boneheads.
Well, the thing that people need to remember is
tell your manager people.
The thing is, it's supposed to be left up to the constituency,
exactly,
and the constituency in each state and their elected legislative officials to make laws like this. It's not supposed to be part of the judicial branch of that state.
Or a reinterpretation.
Thank you. That was the point I was trying to make.
Because they already passed that law and gun manufacturers like yourself have been compliant to that law, making the changes for specifically manufacturing guns just for that state. It's one thing that I tell my kids, and I've told my kids this, and they aren't yet to the point that they've understood it. But I've told them that for centuries, betas have tried to rule alphas by using the pen to regulate the sword. And that is something that, I've taught many people that, and I've tried to emphasize that into my kids so that they understand that if they're going to be able to fight back, then they have to know how to use the pen as well as the sword.
They need to put a little C4 on that pen.
Well, we can't all be knuckle dragging Marines at some point. We do have to, fight.
Is that another shot at Garrett?
No, that was definitely a shot at Chris. I shouldn't talk. I'm, in the nasty girl club, so that's all good. But no, like Billy Birdsell is an excellent example of somebody that is very articulate and well spoken, and knows a lot more than me about a lot of things, and I can't help but listen to what he's got to say and try to implement that.
Sure.
I try to spread the
that's
good word.
that's what we push and promote on this show is America has lost its way to critically think for itself.
Absolutely.
It just takes anybody's word at face value. So, that's what we say. It's like, go to different you hear it one place, go to the other side of that and listen to what they have to say. Go to 2 or 3 other sides and listen to what they have to say and form your own opinion.
And not only that, but engage in conversation. Right. I mean, the thing is that we've got so many people that want to engage about this. It's a hot topic. Guns are a hot topic in America right now. And you have people
which they shouldn't be.
Well, they shouldn't be, but the thing is that
they use that as a scapegoat.
They do, and the thing is, people fear what they don't understand, and they come up and make up things. That's where you get these senators that are sitting there testifying before Congress of the 30 mag ghost
30
clips
clip
and,
max, auto reloading, never ending bullet.
Yeah. And when you have
Disposal.
things like
rapid loading bullet button.
or like the California senator,
I
forget which one it was, but got before was on the floor of the state representation and debating it with this gun apocalypse thing that happened, and was stating that if you altered the bullet button, that you could make any rifle a fully automatic rifle. And that was part of the rationale that they used for passing this there. That's absolutely ridiculous.
Playing on people's ignorance.
Okay, so as a side note, this is one of those times where I blame the people, because somebody and some bodies elected this person to office.
No, I mean, it's completely the people's fault that our situation is the way it is right now, because they won't speak up.
Well, not only that, but they won't educate themselves or allow themselves to be educated. And that's why I say we have to engage in conversation with people. If you see
idiocracy.
You said it right there. It was supposed to take 500 years to get there, and we're only
Google
there.
Idiocracy, IMDb. It's a hilarious movie.
I think that movie's.
But we got to move on, guys. We got to move on. That was a great jackwagon train. I think everybody gets the point. That's the longest jackwagon train ever.
Well, I mean, it's been a bad couple weeks.
It has been rough.
So Gunny's tired. He's ready to haul this train off. So take it away, Gunny. Get that train out of here, buddy. Nordic Components is an American-owned manufacturing company proud to produce quality products right here in the USA. As a company, we continually invest in our manufacturing capabilities to ensure that all of our products are the highest quality and most efficiently produced parts available. The Nordic Components business consists of 2 segments, manufacturing and sales. Our manufacturing business works to provide custom machine components for a variety of applications, with our specialty being firearm components. The sales business produces lines of branded firearm accessories to enhance and elevate the shooting experience. We are a company owned and operated by individuals devoted to shooting sports, and many of us shoot competitively. We attend and sponsor a number of events around the country each year where we listen to you, the consumer, and are proud to say that all of our firearm components are a direct result of your input. As a firearms accessory provider, our aim is simple: provide shooting enthusiasts with innovative products of uncompromising performance and reliability. Nordic Components. Check us out at nordiccomp.com. So let's get into more about Chris. Chris?
Yes, sir.
We want to learn more about you personally. So I've got some questions I want to ask you.
All right.
First off, how did you originally get involved with firearms?
That's let's see. I got shot when I was a young child by a gangbanger while I was at a chess match. And,
what?
Chess match? Yeah, it wasn't an intentional thing. It was meant for somebody else, but I took a zinger to the face, and it was kind of a I was too young for it to be a wake-up call. It was more, it became a point of fascination for me, and a fixture of fascination for a long time. And I moved around a lot when I was young because of my parents' work, and didn't really fit in a lot of places. There was a lot of ethnic and racial prejudice that was levied my way because I didn't blend in. I didn't look like any one particular group. I happen to be of an incredibly mixed origin, and I kind of, I represent what you get when you mix the whole world together. But I don't look enough like any one group for any one group to recognize me as their own. So as a child, that meant I didn't have any protection. I didn't have, a whole heck of a lot of people in the way of friends. And so I was kind of a weird, wandering type of kid, and found myself in a lot of situations I shouldn't have been in. But I had this fascination with firearms and with weapons in general. I got picked on a lot. I got in a lot of fights. I got my stuff vandalized and stolen. I had every bike I ever owned was stolen or broken somehow, at least a couple of times. And so for me, guns became this fixture because it happened that I was also interested in history. And guns, weapons in general, actually have played a very pivotal role in human history. And if you look back at any major change that humanity has made, whether it be technological, political, sociological, there was at some point, in some way, weapons were used and involved. And basically, I started to look at the firearm as the modern day sword. And that interest never really went away. So when I enlisted in the military, it was kind of a natural thing. And I picked it up and I ran with it, and I got into competition shooting. I got into instructorship. I shot every chance I could in the military. Sometimes that was limited, sometimes it wasn't. Mm-hmm. And I've kind of stayed with it since.
What was your first firearm that you owned? That you could say was your first one. Maybe somebody gave it to you as a gift when you were younger. Or...
What I could say was my first one. Yeah. My first couple I can't really say. First legally owned firearm, I believe was a Glock 30.
Okay, so your very first shotgun or anything was a handgun? That was your first?
First legal, as in registered. Yeah. I'd had firearms for years before I bought that one, but that was my first papered gun.
Gotcha. Now, where did you grow up? What state?
I split a lot of time overseas,
Gotcha.
California, the East Coast, New Mexico, okay. Oregon. Okay. I was kind of all over the place. I did spend the later years of my youth in California.
Okay. All right. Do you still have your Glock? The original one that you own?
Actually, a friend of mine has it.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
So you still know the whereabouts, so you could lay hands on it if you wanted to.
Yeah, I just got to hop next door to a free state.
Because you got to fill out paperwork there now.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, and
obviously we know. Yeah, but go ahead. Now.
Right.
Yeah.
Second question: your experience in military and or law enforcement. Do you have any?
8 years in the Corps. I'm not really. I don't like talking about my service or my time in the military. It's kind of a personal
sure
understand
issue for me, but I am proud I served, and I was honorably discharged, and that's as far as I want to go with that.
And we are proud that you served. Thank you for your service.
Yeah, my pleasure.
All right, so you obviously work for a company in the firearms industry, and I've seen the stuff at your booth at NRA. So I'm not going to say resources are unlimited, but you have a lot of resources at your disposal. Now, given the current state of affairs where you currently reside and work, all that taken into account, what's the next gun or piece of gear that you have to own?
Personally?
It's the next bucket list you got to have, yeah.
I live in a state where it's illegal to have a bucket list like that.
That's going to get to the next question, so go ahead and get this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wish that AR-15 Performance would do a 6.5 Creedmoor.
Okay.
And I wish that they would allow other companies to use their barrel extension, their patented
They're not playing
but
fair.
then, it's fair. It's their technology. But for those of you who don't know, AR-15 Performance, otherwise known as Bean Industries, run by a guy named Harrison, and he does some fantastic ballistics work as far as creating Wildcat cartridges, optimizing cartridges, and he does some great both work for reloaders and just selling barrels. The barrels that he makes, the chambers that he custom reams and designs, his work is just fantastic. And I have an AR-12, which is my pride and joy, and it's a next gen MSR is what they call it now, and it is basically an AR-10 or rather DPMS pattern upper receiver that is smaller and lighter, uses a custom bolt carrier group and barrel extension, and allows you to have a 308 that uses AR-15 handguards, and the whole system is much lighter and recoils much less than your typical AR-10 or LR-308.
And that's an AR-12.
What's that?
You said that's an AR-12?
That was the colloquial term that they were using, that Harrison was using. Okay. That's the working term he had for the longest time, but now its official name is the next gen.
I pulled a Scooby-Doo when you said AR-12. I was like, huh? Roll Raggy?
The reason it was nicknamed that is because it's between the size of an AR-15 and AR-10.
Cool.
My personal build has some lightweight components on it, but I've got a 16-inch heavy-barreled 308 rifle that weighs about 6.5 pounds.
Oh, wow.
No, that's not bad at all.
That's lighter than my...
Are you into the precision competition shooting?
I used to be. My eyes are not as good as they used to be, and I don't have as much time anymore, but I like to shoot long-range precision when I get a chance.
Who don't?
I'm a rifleman, so that's in my blood.
Awesome. All right, so the next question. I'm going to go to the next question. Laws be damned. Money be damned. Money's no object. What would you like to own? Firearm wise, vehicle wise, kit wise.
I'd like to own a piece of property outside of this state.
Touche.
Actually, I do have a dream of owning a world-class shooting complex one day.
I know a good real estate agent in Tennessee that can hook you up.
We'll also have a world-class bar in it. For those of you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, after shooting bar. Yep.
Those country clubs.
Yeah. In that order only.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. That's awesome, man. So, all right. So you're talking about this world-class range. Describe it to us.
I can't give you all my secrets.
Fair enough, man.
Basically, the idea is to have what a lot of those ritzy Pebble Beach and Key West guys like. They're country clubs, but instead of golf, it's shooting.
Yeah, they have them out in Texas right now. A couple of them that you're talking about called country clubs is what they've been calling them. And those things are really, really sweet. Yeah,
and so I'd like to have land that, because it's private, I get to make the rules. That's kind of the gist of that. But I want to have shooting, shooting terrain available for a lot of different types of work, including ballistic walled kill houses for rent to qualified instructors, for law enforcement guys, trap and skeet, long distance out to 1,500, if not 2,000 meters, that kind of thing. Full auto range, but it's got to be in the right state. It's got to be in the right area.
Tennessee.
There's a lot that goes into that.
Tennessee.
Texas is kind of like Tennessee light. So
yeah, but didn't Tennessee save Texas?
Something about
along those lines.
Well, the problem is that us Californians are like a little virus, and we like to spread our nasty germs and our nasty ways everywhere we go, and we're kind of infecting Texas.
Yeah, that's why Tennessee is awesome.
So
no state income tax.
Come to Tennessee.
Yeah, late last year I had a friend who lives in Texas, and I'm not going to name which city, but lives in a city, a small city in Texas, and he got a noise complaint against him for the first time in his life, and it was from his neighbor who had just moved in from Orange County, California.
Surprise,
Really?
surprise.
So
Douchebag.
and these are not neighbors who live, within pebble throw of each other. They've got some space in between them. And he was minding his own business, doing what he was doing on his property, and he got
a noise complaint.
He got a visit.
Yeah, somebody calls a noise complaint on me like that. Guess what? I'm earning the next one.
Yeah,
Right?
I'm going to get something to complain about.
Yeah.
Well, hey Chris, if you could spend the day at the range with anyone dead or alive, fictional or real, who would it be?
Or a group of people.
Oh yeah. I mean, we're talking from like James Bond to James Yeager.
That's quite the mental image there.
Yeah. To Jameson.
Colonel Charlie Beckworth.
Outstanding.
Good answer. And why Colonel Beckworth?
Well, he's the man. So
He's the man.
he's the reason why we have the counter-terror, units that we have today. And he was the guy who kind of said, enough is enough. We need to spend the money. We need to spend the time. We need to spend the effort to select the finest men, train them to the absolute best standards that a human is, possible of achieving, and then push them a little bit harder. And we need to give them the money and the funding that they need to get the job done, because his motto was, to put it in a nutshell, there are real problems in the world. There's real evil. There are real bad men. And there's only one way to deal with people who only understand force.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Violence solves everything.
Kind of one of my heroes, if you will.
Dude, you just gave me chills.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Right?
Good answer. I like that. All right, so that's probably some of the best answers we've had on the new guy questions.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us a little bit more now that we know about you, Chris, and of course Garrett skipped out on you. He's left it up to you. Tell us a little bit more. Give our listeners a little bit more information about Strike Industries, how you guys really originated, how you came to be, and where you're headed.
Strike was born out of a vision to do things a little bit differently. And we like to think that our products are not just another Me Too, which is real easy to do. It's real easy to see somebody do something cool and be like, hey, I could do that.
Mm-hmm.
People love that. We're constantly trying to push the envelope and push the boundaries of design and within our own manufacturing limitations and capabilities. We would be the first to admit that we do have limitations. We've had some growing pains and some extensive issues. We've had a lot of times where we were steamrolled by big companies with a lot of money and a lot of influence and very wealthy, powerful lawyers. And it's hard when you come up with an idea to have somebody else take it and patent it before you get around to it, and it's really demoralizing, and it's happened more than a few times just in the last couple of years. But we are trying our best to do things that, are the kind of things that people will look at initially and go, what? Why? And by the time we get done with them, they wonder why someone hadn't done it earlier.
Making the products before they're wanted.
So there are a lot of our products that don't immediately make sense to people, and I understand that there are some with the mindset that things, products should be naturally intuitive and should not require instruction and should make sense right off the bat. But our first concern, our primary concern, is that whether or not you know how it works initially, once you do know how to use it, it will make your life easier.
Right.
So we want something that will make your life better. And we do know that there are a lot of competitors out there. We know there are a lot of people with great ideas in the market. And there have been times when we've come up with some cool stuff and been real proud of ourselves and realized company XY has already done it. And then we kind of slap ourselves in the, I'm going to say forehead for the sake of the viewers.
In a PP.
I'm going to go with forehead. So
yeah, because it'll get
and we carry on,
Right.
As far as where we are coming in the next couple of years, our goal is to manufacture everything from muzzle device to butt pad. We want to have our own barrels. We want to manufacture our own receivers. We are working on slowly projects for alternative operating systems for certain weapon systems. So we are looking at ways to modify, in particular, the AR and the AK families,
Right.
To have to alter completely the way that they function. And that's one of those things. It's more a project of curiosity than anything else, because they're already fine weapon systems.
Right. So you guys are going to be
the
like
AR in particular is so refined that, how could you make it better?
Right. So you're basically going to be like the Linux of AR-15s.
Yeah. You can think of us that way, except that we're not going to stop. When we turn up one pebble, one stone, and we find some fire ants, we piss on the fire ants and then we run away. we lift up another rock. You don't let the fire ants chase you out of the park.
Well, absolutely. And that kind of brings me to a question that I was going to ask, especially and now I'm kind of partial because I have I guess affiliation with another veteran owned company, Leatherneck Tactical, but I really feel like that. Being a veteran-owned and veteran-run company really sets you guys apart, and I feel like I know it would drive my work ethic. Tell us a little bit more about how it drives yours.
Well, every morning we get here, half an hour ahead of half an hour early, so that we have extra time to stand in formation and then haze each other. I'm just kidding. What it means is we have a company whose leadership, for the most part, appreciates and can understand the difficulties of life in general, inside and outside of work. We have a leadership structure where innovation and question asking are kind of encouraged, because all but one of our department heads are either military or law enforcement. And so we have all but two of our department heads. We have a kind of appreciation for not just discipline in your work, but also, allowing the individual to kind of take charge and be more than just a puppet, more than a private.
Right.
We're allowing people to grow much like the military does, just a lot quicker.
Right.
And that encourages innovation, and encourages people to work hard, and encourages people to innovate, and people to enjoy coming to work. That's a big thing, because I can think of a lot of jobs I've had in my life where I really didn't want to go to work every day, but I couldn't afford not to.
Oh, yeah. I really, having worked around and for a lot of veterans, what I see is a lack of micromanagement. Really, like George Patton said.
Well, because we all hated it in the military.
Well, right, and George Patton.
But there are some key things that come with that micromanagement in the military, and we do take those along with us. Accountability is one.
Absolutely.
Personal accountability. If you mess up, man up to it. Yep. And if not, you're going to pay for it. We're not going to let you slide on it. Right. We do give second chances and third chances when they're necessary.
Right.
And we're a company that realizes that we're comprised of people who are just people. You know,
Exactly.
we're humans, and it doesn't matter that, you know, half of us have slung lead, you know, at bad people. It doesn't matter that, you know, some of us have almost died for this country. It doesn't create like a chip on our shoulder kind of effect.
Right.
And there's a lot of humility that comes from having a background like ours, because we do know that, you know, hey, it doesn't matter if I was a sergeant or staff sergeant, because there was a gunny ahead of me. There was a master sergeant somewhere. There was a master guns. There was a master chief. You know, a major. Somebody. There's always a bigger fish somewhere. There's always somebody that has the ability to put you in your place. So it's best not to act out of line. It's best not to do what you're not supposed to be doing because of that, and because you want your subordinates, the people beneath you, to follow your example. You don't want, you know, let's just say we don't have any Bill Clintons in our company.
Well said.
Right. Awesome.
You know,
So
I mean, Garrett might be the closest thing, but
He's got that pretty hair though. So.
just kidding.
So you were showing us earlier. There was a gun you showed us. It had a butt stock on it that
Yes,
I
sir.
haven't seen before. What butt stock was that?
What a novelty, right?
Mm-hmm.
Butt stock.
Butt stock, yeah.
That was our PDW stock. We've been working on that for a specific law enforcement customer of ours for well over half a year now. And
That thing looked awesome, man. Tell me about that. Talk more about that. Is that
well, it's
something that's going to be
it's-
available
it's
to
gonna be-
us?
it will be available to private customers with very slight modification. I'm not going to say what is going to be missing, but it's still
Sure.
going to be a fully functional, rapid deployable stock. It's going to be the industry's first rapid deployable PDW type stock. It's also going to be one of the most affordable. It's primarily forged aluminum, 7000 series aluminum, as well as some high strength steel. But it's basically a spring loaded PDW stock that uses a proprietary buffer and spring. And which brings me to the rest of our springs. We're actually starting to manufacture our own flat wire springs for
Gotcha.
ARs, for Glocks. We're going to be moving.
Man, I got to tell you that
1911s.
the ergonomics on that thing they look phenomenal.
Yeah, well, it's got our typical Strike Industries flair.
It does.
One thing that I think
It
will
does.
be of interest to your listeners is that our head designer, the guy who takes practical designs and makes them cool, he's actually an automotive guy.
Oh, really?
He's a classically trained automotive industrial designer by education.
Yeah.
But he took a liking to firearms, and we're sure glad he did, because he's done some pretty awesome work.
It's a really good, and guys, you can go to their Facebook page. They've got a picture of it on their Facebook page. And do you have it on your website yet?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not
Okay.
the media guy.
I
or
got you.
marketing guy.
Well, one of your media guys has posted on your Facebook page, so you guys can go to the Facebook page and check it out. It's absolutely, like, it's sexy, man.
And Chris, there's
It's
one
sexy.
I can't let you off without talking about the cookie cutter. All right,
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I've got a buddy of mine that did a Spikes tactical build with the cookie cutter on it and several other parts that you guys have, and that thing is about it's sex with the trigger. All right.
Did he shoot his nuts off or what?
Just about. He didn't even have to fire anything to do that. Right? No, it is honestly one of the. He did a AR pistol with it, Spikes build AR pistol with the cookie cutter on it, and it is honestly one of the sexiest guns that I've ever seen.
Fantastic.
Wait till they throw that butt stock on it. Then it'll be,
Right? Put in the paperwork on it.
yeah. Well, you don't have paperwork for this. I mean, you can still have this butt stock have a 16-inch rifle.
Right.
Or you could be a man and just SBR it.
You could, pay the $200, which hopefully they'll do away with soon.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, pay your $200 and then say a prayer for me in my state, because we don't have that right.
Well, I can
Or
babysit it
have a
for
beer
you.
for us, one or the other.
I'm thinking you need a vacation home, man.
There you go.
Yeah, no. Actually, it's interesting. I'm the only technically part-time employee in Strike Industries. I'm only here like 36, 38 hours a week because I have another full-time job, a part-time job, and I own another business. So, I have a lot on my plate.
Hustler.
But I'm also going to school a couple nights a week, and I'm actually studying industrial design and majoring in firearms design.
Awesome.
Wow.
Why'd you get off the couch, man, you lazy ass? Do something with your life, son.
Me and my 21 hours of sleep a week.
Everyone listening to this, your excuses are invalid. All right.
Yeah.
I came here to Strike. Just to go back to me personally for a minute, I came here to Strike specifically to help them out with some things. I came on as a consultant initially, and ended up taking a job because I had so much fun.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Which is pretty awesome because that's never happened before. And my intentions from the beginning were only to be here for a certain amount of time and then leave once I was done with my degree.
Yeah.
And they were very gracious in understanding that. And Strike has done everything they can to support me in moving forward with my dreams and my aspirations for my business and future businesses. And so I'm not going to be here forever necessarily. But while I am here, my job is to take ideas that our employees come up with, and we have two company-wide meetings a week about this stuff. One is product-specific, and one is just, bitches, moans, gripes, complaints about the company itself, concerns, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But our product meeting is hey, who's got ideas? And it's really cool to see a group that's half military, half law enforcement, and the other half civilians from all walks of life. It's cool to see a small group like that get together and brainstorm and see how different everybody's ideas are,
Right.
and to see all the dry erase go up on the board, and it's pretty inspiring. So at some point, if and when I do move away from Strike, there are a lot of things that I'm going to take from Strike with me, and to the best of my ability, maybe even work to support and work alongside Strike.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to mention that before
Very cool.
moving on to anything else.
Yeah, man. So speaking of moving on, we're going to go ahead and get into. All right, so now it is time for the Talking Lead
Facts to fight the myths.
And we are going to go to Chris at Strike Industries, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, so there's a common misconception in the consumership of the gun industry, and by consumership I mean the average everyday Joe and Jolene who are out there purchasing firearms parts and accessories, taking them to the range, defending their homes and themselves. There's this conception that if a company says that it makes its products in the U.S., that it's entirely 100% U.S. made. Unfortunately, that's not the case. It is also not the case that if a product is not made entirely 100% in the good old U.S. of A., that it is a garbage product. And we are very transparent about the fact that many of our products are manufactured in another country. We would like to say that although we can't state them by name, part of the reason why a lot of our own production is so stinted and why we can only do short production runs is because a lot of our time is spent producing as an OEM for other bigger names in the industry. And we are producing at our facilities here in California and in Taiwan. The thing is, a lot of these bigger names will never mention anything about this little island nation called Taiwan. For those who don't know, Taiwan separated from China during the Chinese Civil War, and it is home to a freedom-loving group of individuals who love nationalism and capitalism and have embraced the Western way of living. So they have mixed traditional Chinese culture with American culture as best they can. Whereas you go to the mainland and you have neither Western culture nor traditional Chinese culture, but you have communist culture, which is it's a whole different brand of thinking and a different way of life, different way of looking at things. The Taiwanese understand individual property rights. They understand intellectual rights, and that's something that's a foreign concept to the Chinese. Beyond that, the Taiwanese offer us a very unique opportunity to own and manage our own plants over there. Hence why everyone who, or not everyone, but most who manufacture overseas in this industry happen to go through us, whether they know it or not. So we are open about that. We are also transparent about the fact that we're not perfect, and our machining not always perfect. So we take pride in the fact that we have some of the best customer service in the industry. And we do everything we can from a cost perspective to produce and manufacture here in the U.S. So every part that we can manufacture, machine, or mold here, we do. Every part is anodized here. Every part is finished here, assembled here. But that's not the entire process, right? So we don't have 50% of this or 50% of that. It's all random numbers. But we tell our customers that. If you buy from XYZ bigger brand, they say, oh, American made. Why can they say that? Because they were OEM manufactured by an American company, i.e. Strike Industries. So I just wanted to clear that air and let people know that no, Taiwan is not the same thing as China. The Taiwanese are very much like you and I and see things like you and I. And so we appreciate their struggle against communism and their struggle against a bully nation state that is much bigger and much more powerful than themselves. And we're willing to help them as they help us. And in the meantime, that benefits the American consumer. You know, American Joe Schmo, Joel Schmo, or Jolene, whatever I named it earlier. They benefit from that pricing. You know, we save a little bit of money when we machine in Taiwan. We save money when we mold there. But everything that is designed here and then gets approved by the State Department to be sent over there, it gets manufactured with the same care, with the same QC as all of our stuff that's made here, right? So we are proud of that. We are transparent with that. And we just want to dispel the rumors out there that something made in another country is inferior. Guess what? Our raw materials are coming from Germany. They're coming from Switzerland. They're coming from places that you would never expect. They're being machined in a place that you may look down upon, but then you're buying our product and then complaining about it. So I feel like that needs to be, addressed. And we are not ashamed whatsoever that we mix our manufacturing between the U.S. and Taiwan. We would be very ashamed if we did anything to support China. And unfortunately, there are those in our industry who are A, not as transparent as us, and B, do support China, which I think is pretty unfortunate.
Yeah. Well said, man. That's a good fact to fight the myth. And I think that adds a whole nother level of validity to you guys and your company and why people should buy your stuff, man.
Exactly.
Well, other than it's just badass, you know. And I've been sitting here lusting over this butt stock ever since I saw it there on the Facebook page, man. I got to get one of those. You got to put me down for like one of the first T&E guys on that, man.
I want that dang.
So you want the special treatment reach around?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Please.
The good old Boy Scout reach around.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, you know where I'm headed with.
You guys got a lot of products coming out, man.
That is an American thing right there.
Yeah. Reach around.
No, we pride ourselves in being not only a good bang for the buck, but a better idea. Just the better bet for the buck. You know, there's no product issue that we can't come to a satisfiable, agreeable situation or conclusion to. Right. There's no length that we aren't afraid to go to please our customers, because the customers are what make us. You know, without customers, without the American public buying our stuff, we wouldn't be around. You know, you probably would be incredulous if you saw the list of people who ask us every day if we can sell to another country. And you would be incredulous the amount of money we have turned down in contracts offered by foreign governments for us to produce for them.
Yeah.
We'd be a much wealthier company today if we did that. But we have principles and scruples, and I think that is another side benefit of being led by veterans, is that we kind of have a bias towards this grand old nation. So, say what you will about us, but we are doing what we can. We're doing our best, and we're looking forward to a bright future. And I'm looking forward, as long as I'm here, to help Strike move along and be the greatest company it can be.
And again,
do appreciate the listening of your audience here.
Yeah, and for our listeners, give them your social media, your website, all that, and then we're gonna get into the trivia question.
Well, shoot, I don't know that stuff. All right, that's strikeindustries.com.
Google it, right?
Yeah,
and you guys are on.
It's a pretty unique symbol.
It is. And can you explain that symbol?
One more thing, the myth. I'm sorry, I forgot this.
Okay,
guys.
Yeah.
The little SI symbol that we use.
Mm-hmm.
It's based off of some Celtic runes, and it happens that Hitler's SS used a similar Celtic rune for their unit flag, and pretty recently we've had a rash of people bringing that up in social media and say, I don't know if I want to be associated with a company
that's supporting the Nazis.
Yeah, we do not support Nazism.
Right.
We do not support anything like that. We liked the rune, that font, which is based on those runes, because they look freaking cool.
Looks like lightning bolts.
They're based on lightning bolts, so get over yourselves, all right? And the other thing is, it was also partly an homage to our first product specialist, who was a Marine, and his Scout Sniper insignia.
Yeah.
So the Marines, Scout Snipers, until recently, used the same rune that we do. Because, again, it's badass.
That's another thing. I'm going to throw these people on the jackwagon train that, if they would research the history on, these symbols and things like that, just because the SS, the Nazis used it, look and see where they got it from. Look at the original history of this. And just because these one jackwagons in history kind of gave it a bad name.
I don't. If for those people that are bitching and moaning about that, I don't ever want to see them driving a Volkswagen.
Same thing with the rebel flag. Okay, same thing with the rebel flag. It does not, it does not symbolize slavery in America.
It has nothing to do
and
with
hatred of African American. That's not what it symbolizes. I don't want to get that off my chest. It's kind of coincide with yours, It's an awesome logo, man. I love it.
Looks like a snake.
A snake. It kind of does. It's like a snake. Yeah. He's got his mouth open and he's kind of chowing down, or that's his teeth, maybe.
Yeah.
It's a viper.
Yeah. It's a viper.
It's striking. He's striking. Yeah.
People ask where we got the name Strike Industries. It sounded cool.
Right.
It sounded cool and sounded mean
but the
aggressive.
thing I love about your name, it doesn't have tactical in it.
Strike Tactical Industries. Strike
STI
ruined
Tactical Strike Industries.
Tactical Strike. Yeah. No, we just wanted it to sound cool, and it wasn't. I mean, it really is as benign as that. It's just a cool name, and it's real hard, believe it or not, coming up with a cool name for a business when so many businesses are either named similar to what you want or at least have registered a DBA somewhere.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It just complicates things. It's like getting a cool license plate. It's hard, man. First world problems, but they're real problems.
Yeah. All right, guys, so it's time for our trivia question, and we still have the one from couple weeks ago where we had Raphael on from Eagle Imports, and that one is still up for grabs. He's giving away a couple of hats, some T-shirts, some other swag from Eagle Imports. So make sure you go back a couple of episodes back and make sure you go to their Facebook page. There's actually going to be 2 winners on that trivia question that you're going to have to go to their Facebook pages to enter to win. So this week, Chris is bringing us a brand new trivia question from Strike Industries, and it's going to be related to one of their YouTube videos.
All right, guys, so we got a video up on YouTube on our channel, Strike Industries, and the video is called MP7BUSR, Bravo, Umbrella, Sierra, Romeo. and the MP7 BUSR is a product video for a component that we made for the H&K MP7. It's a two-part trivia question. First one, and the prize for this is a polymer parts package, courtesy of Strike Industries.
Sweet.
How many rounds total are expended in the video? The second question, probably a little bit more difficult, is a anodized components package, which comes with our new Strike components. So anything with Strike in the name, basically, of our anodized,
Nice.
either red or blue line.
Wow.
Sweet.
So this one is a little bit more difficult. What range was this video shot at?
Bam.
Now, the only qualifier or disqualifier for these this trivia is you cannot have been involved in the shooting of this film at all.
Okay.
Physically present or otherwise.
Gotcha. That's
So two-part
that's awesome.
question there.
Two-part
First one
question,
is
two prizes.
should be pretty easy. Second one, maybe not so much.
Okay, very good. So what you guys are going to have to do, like always, is Strike and Chris are going to post, when we release the show, they're going to post it on their Facebook page. And underneath that post, you guys are going to put your answers, okay? And you're going to say, you're going to put answer 1, answer 2, and then say Leadhead was here. And obviously we want you to subscribe, like their page as well. So we're going to be checking that. Great prizes right there, man.
That's awesome.
So Leadheads,
You're welcome.
take part. Thank you. Yep. All right,
problem.
so it's time for the show wrap up. Chris, thank you so much. Thank Garrett for potentially being on. We'll try to get him on next time. We'll work out these technical issues. I think probably what our problem was just the distance that we had from you guys this time. Big delay that we were having there through the Google Hangouts, but the phone's working great. So
I was kind of hoping I could watch your all's jackassery going on, but
beer swigging going on. Yeah,
maybe next time.
Well, maybe you can be here in studio with us. We'll definitely try to make that happen. But
Yeah,
we
man,
want to go ahead
that'd be cool.
and thank our sponsors, Nordic Components. Make sure you guys check out Nordic Components at nordiccomp.com. You're going to check out Cobalt Kinetics, another great sponsor of ours. Check them out at cobaltkinetics.com. multicampattern.com. They provided the awesome black multicam camo that we're rocking on the lead sled now, with a bunch of our sponsors as well. So thanks to Multicam. Make sure you guys check them out. X Steel Targets. There's no reason for you guys to be shooting paper targets anymore. Get some AR-500 steel targets at xsteeltargets.com.
X Steel Targets.
And they can do some custom targets for you guys too. So if you don't see a pattern on there that fits into your hunting needs, they can custom cut one for you. So give them a call at X Steel Targets. We'd like to thank our newest sponsor, Frontier Tactical. They have the Warlock system, the multi-caliber interchangeable system. They've got the barrel nut. Yeah, they got the quick change barrel nut system that implements on your AR-15s to where I don't know, they're up to over 80 different calibers now or something crazy.
Wow.
That you can convert your ARs to. So check them out at frontiertactical.com, and they are going to be sending me one of their multi-caliber packs that we're going to be doing some videos on here in the near future. And I think they're going to go up to a 50 Beowulf on that one, so my shoulder's going to be hurting.
Yeah, sounds expensive.
And guys, this is we're running out of time on our Talking Lead and Friends Independence Celebration giveaway. Go to our website under the giveaway tab to enter. It's through Rafflecopter is the app that we're using on that, and you get up to 80 chances to win. Up to we've got 14 prizes, 14 different companies giving away prizes. The big one being Nordic Components and their AR-15, the NC-15 223-556 rifle. Should have pictures of the custom wrap that Dipstick 123 Dipstick Coatings is putting on that. He sent me some sample pictures of it. It looks pretty awesome, so it's going to be cool. And then, of course, Atlas Defense is going to be putting up a $300 gift card. Let me get my list here of everybody who's involved.
P.S. Yeah, they have sweet machine guns.
Yes, they do. We shot them this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
My son, I'm a brag on him for a second. My 7-year-old son got to fire off a fully auto Ma Deuce this weekend. And
and I want to thank the men and women at SOE Tactical.
Absolutely.
Yes.
For putting up the
party this weekend.
Big party that they had, man. That was awesome.
Bonfire.
John, you're amazing, dude.
Yeah.
You know how to throw down. So thanks for putting that together. That was an awesome time. And I missed the Tactical Response alumni again. Unfortunately, were you there, Alex?
I was.
Well, that's right. You got a broke leg, so you weren't there.
I was helping Jeff set up at the Leatherneck booth at the SOE party.
Yeah,
so did not make it.
Okay, but we got to see some of our good friends at the SOE party.
Oh yeah, a lot of them came from alumni to hang out and do good things.
That party went till 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah,
I was definitely there.
So. Thank them again. That was an awesome party. So, again, Palmetto State Armory's putting up a $150 gift card. Glock, they sent us tons,
a pallet
full of
stuff.
swag to hand out to you guys. And I've been continually, as you run into me, you see me out in public at these different events. I'm handing out the swag, but for the contest, we've got we're going to have 3 winners on this. You're going to have the Ultimate Glock swag pack, and there's going to be hats and water bottles and cups and pins and stickers and all kinds of awesome stuff. So 3 opportunities for people on that one. Tactical Walls is putting up one of their awesome tactical wall clock. You guys see it right there, the Talking Lead one that they did for me. So they're putting one of those up. Atlas, they're putting up the $300 gift card. Cobalt's putting up one of their muzzle devices and some of their swag, 2 hats, 2 shirts. CAA is putting up a AR accessory pack. It's going to have a buttstock, a grip, and a handguard. Devil Dog Concepts, one of their awesome hard chargers, the side charging handle systems. Over there. You see it, Josh? I got it sitting over there.
Oh, yeah. That's some... Oh, sexiness.
They're awesome. And we've got videos, so go to our YouTube channel. You'll see the videos that we've done with the hard charger and the guys at Devil Dog Concepts. Dipstick Hydrographics, they're doing the dip kit to one lucky winner. Sounds like Chris is getting in his car. He's getting ready to head out of this mofo. Cantu Bruner is putting up one of their custom brass bullet pins.
Dax makes some awesome pins out there.
Dax is the man. I've got several of his. I've got a zombie one he did custom for me.
I got a woodland one. Just saying.
You got some wood? What?
Woodland.
I had a
I
got a Mandalorian one that was gifted to me, and then I had a Punisher one that I gifted to a friend of mine, Aaron Little, out in with Performance Edge.
That's awesome.
Training out in Lexington.
Awesome. 1776 United. They're putting up a $100 gift card. Those are the guys who make the awesome T-shirts that you guys see me wearing out in public and the videos. That's pretty much all I wear. 1776 United T-shirts. Those things are so freaking comfortable. They make the Talking Lead T-shirts, so you can use that $100 gift card and buy you several Talking Lead T-shirts and give some nice Christmas gifts this year. Be the hit of Christmas. Colt is putting up some awesome swag. They've got a hat, shirt, toboggan. There's like a belt buckle in it. There's an awesome looking antique tin with Colt's old logo and signature with the horse on it. And we've got pictures of all this. So if you go to the giveaway app, Talking Lead's website under the giveaway tab. It's also on Facebook. There's a giveaway tab on Facebook, and you can go there also. And then you can just click through and see all the pictures of everything that we're giving away. Apex Tactical is putting up some base plates for the Magpul Glock mags that they've made now. So you'll get some of those aluminum base plates for those. Keltec is putting up just another phenomenal swag pack. They're going to have their flashlight, their knife, hats, shirts. Just a ton of stuff Chad over at Keltec is putting up for that. And I think did I leave anybody out? And then,
God, I hope not. That's
I'm telling you, man, this is a huge giveway.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
This is a huge giveaway. So you guys need to tell your mama, your daddy, your brother, your sister, your uncle. There's lots of opportunities here, and you've got up to 80 chances to win this stuff. And then, of course, the big, the Nordic rifle. That's going to be the big one. I know that's what everybody's wanting. But again, if you can't own a freaking firearm, you're not legal to own. It's not legal in your state. Federal, state, local laws apply. You're not going to win it. Okay, so don't get butthurt if your name gets called and you're not legal to own it. So don't even try for that. But you could win one of these other awesome prizes. So don't feel bad. So that's it, man.
Chris?
Did we lose you? I had to get that in.
They paid the bills.
Yeah. So make sure you guys take part in the trivia question for Strike Industries. Chris is putting up 2 freaking awesome prizes for that. So take part. You're going to win some cool stuff. Maybe we'll get Strike involved in our next big giveaway that we're going to have. And maybe we'll have one of those awesome massive butt stocks or something. Who knows? You never know. But thanks for my guests. Thanks for AK and Josh for coming in and joining us today.
Good to be here.
Always.
It was a pleasure. AK, dude, I mean, you keep the show going on point. Love it. Josh, we got to get you back on more often. This is your first time.
I'm down. I'm just down the road. So
Excellent job. All right, another great show, Leadheads. So, as always, keep your loved ones close.
Keep your weapons closer. Stay safe and shoot often.
And ISIS.
Spay new to your pets.
Fuck out, dude.
Halloween, it is breathing. Halloween, it is speaking. Halloween can blow my soul away. Halloween, it is screaming. Halloween, it is singing. Halloween, got a message just for me. Halloween, got a message just for me. Halloween, got a message.